Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Wednesday, August 28th, 2024. But before we check out the charts, I just want to ask you to please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Tesla and daily NVIDIA reports, daily analysis in the SPY, daily analysis in the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and Apple stock, as well as two individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near term investor, always looking for 20% moves or more on those underlying stocks. And you get to see all of this for free. We offer a 5-day free trial up front. So check out wickedstocks.com. Let's take a look at the charts. I'm going to start with this one. That it is a big picture representation of what we're anticipating. It was a settlement about 2 weeks ago above this descending two-thirds speed line that is now well below the market at 114.87. That indicated within 2 to 3 weeks 140.76, and within a couple of months, 1 to 2 months, 154.96. We've been in a consolidative framework now, obviously, for the last week or so, but 114.87 still decent support that you can buy into if tested. We are earnings, I believe, is today. I don't expect to see 114.87 today, but I do think we could see it over the next day or two if we close today below 124.11. And that is a level that can contain session weakness as it did yesterday. Above that, we've got the 131.82 channel top, and that is the same formation. We could trade inside of 124.11 to 131.82 for the next couple of days. Now, obviously, this earnings is going to tip the scales one way or the other, and it probably will be today by a meaningful degree. So let me just sort of mention that if we break 124.11, 120.16 is likely. I don't expect to see 114.87 today. I suppose it could happen, but what I really think is the likelier outcome that if we were to test 114.87 in the coming days, it will require a settlement today below 124.11. That should then yield within 1 to 3 more days 114.87, where once again we can bottom out through next week, round back up to 140.76 within 2 to 3 weeks perhaps, and within a couple of months, 154.96 in reach above 114.87. In terms of the downside, though, we do have, I'm reluctant to go with a significant sell signal below 114.87 because I've been mentioning the last few days how we have rising speed line support that is at 106.05 that over the next full week of trade, early next week, converges into a single point. So, there is the very real possibility that if we were to test this area, we could close today below 124.11. It takes several days to fall, maybe a little longer, 3 to 5 days to fall down to 114.87, by which point we'll have converged or coming close to converging with rising speed line support. So right now we've got them pretty far apart, and it is stair step. But as we move into next week, later next week, it does converge into a single area in the low 110s that does represent solid support. Once again, able to contain selling possibly through September trade, and if settled below, would tip the market aggressively south as we move into later September. But I'm not going to go there right now. I don't see the well, you know what? I do see a chart that we did create, and this is what we're looking at. So the channel bottom, 124.11, we don't have it labeled, can contain session weakness. If we close below 124.11, I see no good reason to be long NVIDIA overnight or through the rest of the week. In fact, I think you'd need to be short NVIDIA over that time frame, expecting 114.87 within 3 to 5 days, during which time it converges with rising two-thirds speed line at 106.05. That all come together in the next week in the very low 110s that can absorb selling, possibly through September, and if settled below, would be our next 2 to 3 week sell signal down to 87.18. So it is a bit stair step. 87.18, significant channel support if tested over the next month or two, able to contain selling quite possibly through the rest of the year. But we are a long way from that. I think I outlined the scenario. I see no reason to consider 87.18 an objective or even worth considering as a reachable price point unless we actually close below the 106.05 rising two-thirds speed line. Let's cover the upside today. I've already mentioned how 131.82 can contain daily highs. If we push through 131.82, 135.58 is in reach. That is the high settlement price that was put out back in June. That could be it for the day, but if we do settle today above 131.82, that pivots the market aggressively north through the rest of the week. This could be a 1 to 3 day move, could be 3 to 5 day move. Obviously difficult to ascertain, but let's just say the closing above 131.82, we should within 3 to 5 days reach 140.76, which, as I mentioned earlier, is a 2 to 3 week target anyway, following the settlement over a week ago above the 114.87 speed line. We could double top at 140.76, no doubt about it, for a day, for a week. I don't see a long-term high here. What I do expect is 154.96 as an eventual objective above 114.87. So closing above 140.76 over the next week or two would then signal 154.96 within 2 to 3 more weeks, where we could potentially top out through the rest of the year. Once again, I don't expect to see 140.76 over the next 3 to 5 days, unless we close today above 131.82. And I don't expect to see 114.87 over the next 3 to 5 days unless we close below 124.11. It's about as simple as that. Bullish into next week above 131.82, bearish into next week below 124.11. And I've already outlined what those targets would be. Until then, we can trade inside of this area for the entire day. But I don't expect it because of the earnings that are coming out. So I'm going to leave it at that. You know, all I'm going to ask now is that you click like, share, or subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. On Tuesday, we put out a stock pick on Duolingo. You might want to check that out. That stock is on the precipice of a significant signal that could play out for the next few months. Gains could be substantial in the order of 20+%. We're not there yet, but I'm just pointing it out. You can see that for free by going to wickedstocks.com and setting up a subscription. You can get in and out within a minute. You have a 5-day free trial. Nothing is charged in your card until the 5th day, and during which time you can see all of our stock picks. You can see all of our daily triple Q and SPY analysis, our weekly S&P 500, NASDAQ 100, and our Apple stock analysis. So if you trade Apple stock, you know, we had Apple stock on YouTube for a couple of years, and then we rolled it into our paid platform some months ago and replaced it with the very stock you're looking at right now, NVIDIA. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'll be back, of course, tomorrow with Thursday's NVIDIA report. You have a great evening.